Hello, I'm Jonasz Rewiński and you're watching Military Mind. Armed conflicts, defense and security, land, sea and air. We've got you covered. Russia's war in Ukraine rages on, and tonight, once again, Moscow's troops are striking Ukrainian cities with a wave of drones. Kiev's military is claiming that as many as 66 UAVs were launched across the country. The Ukrainian Air Force recorded 4 strike drone hits at 3 locations, with the northern city of Sumy coming under attack. The head of the local administration stated that the brunt of the strike was borne by educational facilities and residential buildings, with initial reports saying that no one was hurt. Russian shelling has also resulted in casualties in several frontline areas, with 2 deaths reported in the Donetsk region and 10 more people being wounded. Also, according to Kharkiv regional officials, 5 local residents were wounded during the day. On the front line, open-source forest tracking website Deep State reports that Russian troops have ramped up pressure on Ukrainian positions in the Serebryansk forest and are close to completely dislodging the armed forces of Ukraine from the area and consolidating their positions. The situation is particularly challenging in the eastern part of the forest, where the Russian armed forces are conducting assault operations using equipment and infantry. In addition to that, Deep State shows that over the past week, for the first time since March, the Russian armed forces lost more territory than they captured near Pokrovsk. Following successful counterattacks by the Ukrainian military in the Dobropilya area, 6 square kilometers were abandoned. In total, the Russian armed forces captured 64 square kilometers of land last week, marking their worst result since mid-May, including about 40 square kilometers in the Liman sector and 22.5 square kilometers on the southern Donetsk front. Moving on now to the Middle East, Israeli forces launched a series of intense airstrikes on the Yemen capital Sana'a on Wednesday, killing at least 35 people just days after Houthi rebels carried out a drone attack that struck an Israeli airport. The ministry said the raids struck civilian and residential areas, including homes and a medical facility in the southwest of the city, with more than 130 civilians wounded. In addition, Al Masirah TV, affiliated with the Houthis, reported that a military headquarters in central Sana'a was among the targeted locations, and nearby residential buildings also suffered damage from the blasts. The European Union is preparing to take an unprecedented step in the field of defense. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has announced the need to create a wall of drones on the EU's eastern flank, along the borders with Russia and Belarus. Now, this is not just a technical barrier, but a comprehensive permanent drone presence tasked with area surveillance, threat identification, and ensuring a rapid response to any intrusion attempts. The idea comes from the Baltic states, which have been calling on Brussels for several years now to invest in joint defense, as their lands are the front line of European security. Von der Leyen's statement came just hours after Poland scrambled fighter jets to intercept Russian drones that had invaded its airspace. This confirmed once again that the threat is real and ongoing. Poland will receive the largest share from the SAFE program, 43.7 billion euros. Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia have been allocated a total of 14.7 billion euros. The funds can be used to purchase unmanned systems, including in Ukraine, as the program allows up to 35% of the loan to be spent outside the European Union. This opens up new opportunities for Kiev to cooperate with its European partners. At the same time, countries in the region are already implementing their own border security program. Poland is rolling out its East Shield system, which includes fortifications and logistics hubs, as well as modern surveillance equipment and drone deployments. The Baltic Defense Line project, launched in the Baltic states, involves the construction of hundreds of fortified bunkers by 2025. Thus, the wall of drones will become not only a symbol, but also a real line of technological control designed to stop Russian aggression on approaches to Europe. In the Donetsk area, near the village of Oleksiivka, Ukrainian Marines from the 35th Marine Brigade repelled another attack by the Russian occupiers. The Russians deployed one of the so-called turtle tanks, a vehicle with additional anti-drone cladding, plus 2 other combat vehicles and a group of motorcycles. The enemy's plan was obvious: to take control of Ukrainian positions with a quick breakthrough. However, the execution of the plan ended in disaster. Ukrainian FPV drones accurately hit the enemy's vehicles, leaving it to the artillery to finish the job. As a result, the entire armored group was wiped out, along with its personnel. In the Pokrovsk region, Russians continue to use small infantry groups for their assault operations. The small units are tasked with reaching staging areas where they plan to gather reserves for a larger-scale assault. However, these plans are being systematically disrupted by Ukrainian drone pilots from the Spartan unit. Every day, the Ukrainians detect groups of enemy assault troops and strike them from the air. Along with the enemy's manpower, they target shelters, dugouts, and temporary assembly points. In one of the villages in the Sumy region, a demining group from the 5th Border Guard Detachment discovered a powerful piece of ordnance, a half-ton Cab 500 bomb dropped by the Russians. The EOD troops on site quickly took control of the munition, transported it, and safely defused it. No civilians were harmed. This incident once again demonstrates the importance of the professional efforts of Ukrainian border guards and EOD techs who spend their days neutralizing Russian unexploded ordnance and landmines. And with this, we conclude this edition of Military Mind. Please stay with us here on TVP World for more latest news and updates.